I'll be analyzing these pairs, my 4 golden pairs that I usually use, that the XAUUSD or the gold metal, the GBPJPY currency, the GBPUSD currency, and the EURUSD currency. This is as a result of what has been happening the previous week. I just want to show you how to get confluences using my dynamic trend line, the 21 EMA that I use on my device, with other confluences that I'll get from my laptop. And now, for example, we have to study the gold chart. So you can see this is the 1 hour. For usually for the time frame alignment, I will use the daily, and then the 1 hour, and then the 5 minutes, because that's the perfect time frame alignment for this dynamic 21 EMA strategy. Okay, so you can see we bounced off here on the daily time frame. We came back, we tested the origin, exploded again, came back here. Expect some explosion to the upside. Okay, so what does that tell you? That tells you that at every instant there is a way you're going to be trading. Like for instance, here you are only going to be taking buys around this point. You're only going to be taking buys around this point. You see, that's what it really means. And so at this point you should be looking to gather buys, because there is also a demand level here that you can clearly see. Okay, but this is just an added confirmation to what will be happening on your charts in your PC, because we have multiple things to look at. We have the DCI OPEC trailing Fibonacci CPT AMDP. Let me repeat that. That's at DCI OPEC trailing Fibonacci CPT AMDP, because that's a strategy that helps you first to find the general direction of the market by having where you have like the drawn liquidity and everything, where you just have the general direction of the market first. Then you have to magnify on the current structure. You have the general direction. For example, if I go to my charts, for me to see the general direction, I can say that at this point in time we were bullish. Okay, we were bullish. So what I needed to do is I needed to magnify on the current structure, like if on the current structure, and this is usually the pullbacks. Okay, they're usually the pullbacks. So you magnify on the pullbacks here, you magnify on these pullbacks, so that you're going to find when the reversal is going to happen, and you ride again with the trend. So you're going to get confluences of price and time in your minute 15 chart, whereby you're going to use the price and time. You need at least to have time correlation to the price, so that you can have the market pushing in your anticipated direction. So back to the current price action, you can see bullish rejections on that 21 EMA following time frame alignment here at this point. Let me take you back to what was happening at this particular point. Now you look clearly, you can see we had a BPR that was filled. Even if you look at your MetaTrader, this is a BPR that was filled, meaning the money was being held on this week and not anywhere below. So the moment price went halfway through this week, we had been longing to look for buys. We have been longing to look for buys around this zone, and expecting price to respect the low that was left behind at this point. This is our low that we want price to hold on to. So with that confirmation, going on to the 1 hour, for that at this particular point here, you can see that price had given a initial push to the upside at this point. Then going on to the 5 minutes, since you are looking to buy at this point, at this particular point in time, you couldn't force a buy. At this particular point you can't force a buy, because the price action shows just sells and sells and sells and sells. So you trade what you see. So at this point you just be selling and selling and selling and selling, trying to attack these extreme levels, because you can see we had a nice sweep and a change of character. Okay, we had a nice sweep here and then a change of character to the upside. So meaning price was aiming for at least this zone, this candlestick. This held a lot of liquidity, or rather it held a lot of money, so it's okay if price sweeps below it, okay, but it shouldn't close. You see, that never happened. So price just respected the zone and started pushing high and pushing high and pushing high. So at this particular point in time, you could move to a lower time frame, like the minute one, where you find your sniper position at this point. And you can see we had a nice rejection, reaction coming out, nice reaction, then price closed above it, pushed high. Was in the 5 minutes, it happened the same way. So you could have gotten that initial buy to the upside. Okay, that's on gold. Then we move to GBPJPY. On GBPJPY also took a buy. There was a buy on GBPJPY. So when you go to the daily, also you can see we are in an uptrend. In GBPJPY. Price is just respecting these zones. Okay, price is just respecting these zones, meaning it has some bullish pressure, and then you can see all this liquidity lying up there. So at this particular point in time, I saw how we were rejecting to the upside. Only following my time frame alignment, I came to this, and then I saw this strong sell candlestick that I believed was a trap. This one here, I felt like it was a trap and people are going to be induced into taking sells. And for that reason, once price pushed down and closed below and respected this H1, but you see this bullish candle that closes bullish and the other one confirmed, I came to my 5-minute chart here. This is the point where the entry came. So you can see we traded up, we retested, we traded back up, and so at this particular point in time, when price came back to retest the zone, at that point I took my buys here and I kept on stacking my buys against these sellers that were going to be selling on this sharp sell here. So yeah, that was GBPUSD. GBPJPY, just by following the dynamic trend line approach, which is the 21 EMA. The next trade was on GBPUSD, is just an analysis. On GBPUSD, we have a bullish trend, to be precise, but we are currently magnifying on the current structure, which is a sell structure. We have a nice demand zone here. We have a nice area that we can consider price at least coming to before it can consider continuation to the upside. Okay, and what you can see is also we are trading below the 21 moving EMA. So for me, this is the zone, and if price happens to violate that level, I still want it to like hold on this other one. Okay, so currently we are just selling. So coming on to the 1 hour, you can see where that pushed to the downside, then we created some inducement. At this point you can clearly see price looks like it took some liquidity to the upside and there's a potential of continuing to the downside. So at this particular point in time, we can say that the 1 hour has confirmed what the daily is doing. So we are going to follow what the daily has given us, and this is our fair value gap. We expect price to come back in here, and then you're going to push to the downside. That will potentially happen during the Asia. And to get more confirmation of what's going to happen, you need to check on the euro dollar, which is a pair that also correlates to the GBP. I want this to be a 10-minute video, so I don't want to hold it for long. So as you can see, EURUSD on the daily, the chart is not loading. The chart isn't loading well, but you can see that uptrend. On the 1 hour, you can see we took also some inducements up here. Okay, we took some inducement as expected, and yeah, so we are currently not well broken. If it comes to the euro dollar, we are not yet broken. Just want to see price break below these levels, and we are going to find lower time frame confirmations and everything like that. So yeah, that's it for this. Thanks for listening. It's Cop Hunter himself. Yeah, peace out.